What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 4 for 4 Philly Fan Podcast. The Phillies have some issues that they need to get worked out. They can't hit the ball. They can't pitch. I mean, it's the sweep was nice. The sweep against the Braves, that was nice. You know, you win 2 of 3 against the Mets. You start off the season, 5-1, 4-1, whatever the case may have been. Well, now you're 6-5. You're losing games. You win one game against Atlanta on the road, and it was on the most controversial slide of the season so far. Alec Bohm, coming from a Phillies fan, never did touch home plate. It's just getting a little nerve-wracking. This early in the season, I understand it's very early. You know, we've only played 2 teams so far in the Braves and the Mets, but there's still issues here that, you know, the Phillies need to definitely work out. They don't have a center fielder. They do not have a center fielder. They need to address that immediately. Adam Hazley and Roman Quinn cannot hit the baseball. They can't do it. What is the point of having these two guys up when they can't hit? And then you got guys like a doubleheader down in AAA or whatever it is, and then Mickey Moniak down low, and you see them and they're hitting the baseball. And, you know, am I saying that Mickey Moniak is ready to play Major League Baseball? No, I'm not. And I don't think he really is yet. But I do think he is better than Roman Quinn, batting a solid 1 of 17 on the year. He can't even steal bases right at this point. I mean, it's becoming ridiculous with this narrative of the center fielders so far this season for the Phils. It's just becoming embarrassing. The 9 or the 8 hole hitter is useless at this point. 1 through 6, great. You got McCutchen, who is still, he is struggling tremendously. And we have seen that, throughout the season. He's very inconsistent. He's striking out a lot. He's not really doing the things that we brought him here to do. He's not being that veteran presence guy that we know he has been in the past. So you got Kutch, Hoskins, Harper, Real Muto, Bohm, Didi, and Gene. I like that. I don't mind that. But then when you get the Roman or Hazley, it's pretty much an easy out every time. And then you got the pitcher up right after him. And even the pinch hitters, even if you want to throw a Matt Joyce out in center, or you want to move the guys around in the outfield to get, Joyce or Brad Miller out there, it's just not going to work. You need a center fielder. And we do not have one. And it is getting very bad right now. It's getting so bad. Because without a center fielder, that 8-hole hitter is just non-existent right now. And, you can bring up a Double. You can bring up Moniak. Even Kingery. But as Joe Girardi said in his press conference yesterday, if those guys were playing well, we would have brought them up already. So clearly, the little snippets and videos on Twitter that you see of Mickey Moniak hitting a baseball or a double, from spring training, they're not doing much either, which is very concerning. Do I think that the Phillies should make a move for a center fielder? I think they should. I think at this point, it's early in the season. They're going to not want to make moves, and they like the players that they have right now. So I do think that a trade will not happen anytime soon, but I do think that they definitely need a center fielder, and I think all Phillies fans definitely feel the same way of, wow, we do not have an 8-hole hitter, we do not have a center fielder that is a reliable guy that can play the field, that can play at the plate. They can't do it. And, you see these switches every single game with Hazley coming in for Quinn and Quinn coming in for Hazley. It's just not working. Roman Quinn cannot hit the baseball. He can't hit a beach ball if it was thrown at him right now. He's just not doing anything for me. He's not getting on base, which means he's not being able to steal bases. And even when he did steal a base yesterday, he was called out because he thought the ball went over Guillermo's head. Roman Quinn is a disaster right now. Can't play. Can't play baseball. Can't field. All right, he can field, but he can't hit at all. He's the fastest guy on the team, maybe even in the league, but it doesn't matter when you can't get on base. What is the point? That's like having a nice car with no insurance. It's just nothing. It's nothing. What's the point? Putting on sunscreen on a cloudy day. No point. No point to it. Now, the Phillies as a whole, they are not, playing the greatest away. Now, we saw what they did at home. You sweep the Braves, you win 2 of 3 against the Mets, as I've already said. But now you're on the road, you're in Citi Field, you're in Truist Park. And, you're struggling to get wins here. I mean, the bats were dead yesterday. Stroman made us look stupid. Stupid. I mean, he went the distance, pretty much. I had to turn the game off. It was that bad. We couldn't get a hit. Harper couldn't get a hit. Hoskins. I mean, we were like... everybody was just striking out. We had like 14 strikeouts in a 7-inning game in Game 1. And he wasn't even their best pitcher. Taijuan Walker is not better than Marcus Stroman. Syndergaard. DeGrom, obviously. He was making us look bad the entire game. And you bring that game into extra innings, you score. But let's be honest here. The Mets defense was not good. And, that is a big reason to why we scored on that play in extra innings. They were out of position. There was no guy covering first. It was a mess. We cannot hit. We don't have the ball jumping off the bat right now. And that's not going to work. It's not going to do anything that is helpful for the Phils right now. We need to put the ball into play. Forget the home runs. Home runs are nice. Obviously, you get an automatic point. But you got to get guys on eventually. I mean, let's go here. Like, come on. Like, you got to get these guys on. Harper, I'm not too mad at him. Hoskins is starting to slump a little bit from the hot start that he had, at home. JT really hasn't found that pop yet. Bohm is continuing to hit. I mean, I love Alec Bohm, Didi Gregorius. Harper has been on base every single game so far. So, that's nice. But without that slide, that controversial slide from Bohm, you're looking at a 5-game losing streak right now. You haven't won a game on the road without that win. Without that slide, you haven't won a game on the road. It's getting a little concerning. It truly is. And, obviously, I'm going to be watching the games and I'm going to be putting my 2 cents in, but the Phillies have a problem. And it's not only just the center fielders right now. The defense is a little lackluster. You had Didi who can't... Jeff McNeil beat out 2 Didi Gregorius throws. Acuna has done it this year. And, those are very fast players. Acuna is unbelievable. He's one of the best players in baseball. He's on my fantasy team. It pains me to say that, but he is, and he's a beast. But, Nola struggled last night. Again, for the 2nd straight start in a row against the Mets. He is struggling. We have Wheeler on the hill tonight. And then tomorrow you have Eflin versus DeGrom. I think Anderson, or whatever the guy's name is for the Mets, is pitching tonight. He pitched game 2 when we played them last week. He played against Nola, so I think it is Anderson. But, I want to see the bats. I want to see the bats get going here. Like, let's just calm down. We don't need to swing for the fences every time. You got to put the ball into play. And this is something that they haven't been able to do this year so far. I still have faith. It's very early in the season. We have 150-something games left. I'm not going to be freaking out, throwing things, screaming at... Like, obviously, I'm going to be upset when they lose. You get swept against the Mets yesterday in a doubleheader. That's never good. But, you got to get the bats going. You got to get the bats going. I hope that this center field issue becomes solved eventually. I just don't know. There's a lot of stuff going wrong here with the center field position. You have 5 of them. Quinn, Hazley, Scott, Kingery, Moniak, and a double. I don't know what's going to happen, to be completely honest with you guys. The center field is probably the biggest issue right now, besides not being able to hit the baseball. And, it is just that simple. We can't hit. We can't hit right now, and we're just not playing very good baseball. To be completely honest with you, we started off hot. Well, it's time to, let's kick it into another gear here. Phillies tonight, 7:05, I think. I'm not too sure. I'll be at the Sixers-Nets game, so I'll definitely be peeking in here and there to the Phils. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Let's go Phillies. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'm out. Peace. Make sure to check the description below for all my links, too. I'm out. Peace, guys.